undefined, soul's desire. You don't even know what you did. Now I'm on fire, fire, burning, burning out of control, taking me higher, higher, a feeling I can't hold on my own.
Hello, here we are at My Psychic Connection live. I'm InnerJi The Metaphysical Crone, and I am so looking forward to spending the next hour with you. I guess, excuse the pun, you could say, I'm on fire. Yes, that is our theme for the show tonight. It's all about fire and all of the fire associations. So I hope you've got some fiery energy for me and some fired up questions. And speaking of questions and readings, let's get into the rules. So remember, the free readings are 2 minutes long, and then when the bell goes, I have to move on. Oh, that rhymes, doesn't it? Move on when the bell goes on. Okay, so remember to keep your questions specific. So what I mean by specific is no general questions at all. A specific question is one where you give me a little bit of context, maybe a little bit of history around it. So rather than asking, what does my love life look like? It could be, I'm in a relationship. I'm just wondering how things are going to move forward with X. Or I'm not in a relationship. I'm looking to be in one. How likely might I meet someone? Those are the type of questions that we can really hook into quickly. Now, when it comes to donated readings, you have some choices this evening. There is the 3-minute donated reading. That's one question only, please. There is also the mini and the mega. Now, I'm not doing mediumship tonight, but we do mediumship readings here on My Psychic Connection. You can go to mypsychicconnection.com for a private mediumship reading. And don't forget, on Journey Ryan Live, on Psychic K's show, on Destiny K's show, you can get mediumship readings there. So keep an eye out for those time slots for those wonderful, amazing mediums. Now, the other reading we do tonight is the mega. The mega reading can be more than one topic, so it can be a couple of topics, or you can have follow-up questions. For all of the other readings, it's one question only, no follow-ups. And of course, if you book a donated reading, then you will go to the top of the queue. And how do you book a donated reading? You simply go onto Facebook or YouTube if you're on one of our other platforms and click on the link. And of course, to get your question, you need to join the queue. So make sure that you go into the chat or the comments on Facebook or YouTube and hear your question in there. And I so look forward to answering them. Now, there are a couple of no-go zones when it comes to readings. The first one is no medical or health-related questions of any kind. That does include pregnancy, and it does include end-of-life questions. The other area that's a no-go zone is anything to do with the law or legal questions. That includes court cases, inheritances that involve a lawyer. So anything legally related, I will move on to the next question. And I just want to re-emphasize, no general questions. If you put up a general question, I will move on to the next one because I don't have time to tune in and delve into it. And I may tell you stuff you already know, and that's not really helpful to you. So with all of that, with lots of great things happening, lots of fire. Are you ready to bring the fire tonight with your questions? I am. So let's go into our first question, please. Who do we have? And we have Gemma. Hi, Gemma. How are you, my dear? And Gemma asks, Adam's week visit here mostly went well. Feel we got closer, but I embarrassed myself with my nerves, hormones, throwing up every day. I had to cancel all our plans. Did it change how he feels about me? Well, let's have a look, Gemma. And she also goes on to say, but he told me he loves me lots of times and looked after me doing all the cooking. Oh, isn't he gorgeous? He's a keeper, isn't he? But let's have a look at how he's feeling about you. since his visit. And, don't ever be embarrassed about feeling the way you've been feeling. We all have our stuff that we go through. So let's put out some cards. Oh, nice. I've got the Seven of Cups first. And the Seven of Cups is that he's there for you no matter what. He sees all the different aspects of you. If you look closely at this card, you'll see there are 7 wine glasses there, and they represent different aspects of you. And he sees all of you, not just that one part that gets anxious or, gets nervous. He sees all of you, and that's what he loves. He takes it all. That's the important thing. The second card I have is the Ten of Swords reversed. Now, that Ten of Swords reversed is saying, don't make a mountain out of a molehill. He took it in his stride. It wasn't a big deal for him. When you see all those swords coming down, there was protection there with those angel wings. And so he took it for what it was. He understands what you're going through. And for him, he didn't make a big deal out of it. It's you. It's part of who you are, and he loves you. The Hermit card reversed. He wants to be as open with you as possible. So, it's about, how can I put this? It's about, taking all the foibles that we all have, as well as all the positive things, and taking and accepting as a whole. And he does that. He really loves you. And the cooking part, oh my. He thinks you're a treasure. So don't worry about it. Allow yourself to heal from it. No need to be embarrassed, because you were doing the best that you could. And thank you so much for that question. It was a great start to our show tonight. And if you're watching this in terms of the questions, that's a great example of a question that has a bit of detail and a bit of context to it. And so it means that I can jump in and easily answer. Being embarrassed. Oh gosh, I can be the queen of embarrassment. I get so easily embarrassed at times, and we all do. That feeling of embarrassment is part of who we are. So it's just about breathing through it. This is for everyone, not just for Gemma. When we get embarrassed about something, it's about putting it into perspective. I have a tendency to have a bit of a giggle at myself when I get embarrassed about stuff, and that kind of helps me get over. I see the funny side. Okay, I think we should move on to our next question. Who do we have, please? And we have Audrey. Hello, Audrey. Lovely to see you here. I've got some kangaroos and hearts. Thank you for that. And Audrey says, hi, I'm so messed up, stressed about a situation with my employer, who's my stepdad, Ken. Am I correct with my decision to leave his company entirely and pursue my own path? Thanks. Well, let's have a look at how things will look for you moving forward on this new path and see how it will go for you. Okay. So the first card I have up is the King of Wands reversed. This is a fire energy. So for you, the initial spark to make this change was there, but now the self-doubt is creeping in. So this is kind of reflecting where you're at the moment. You're not feeling in charge. That's the thing. The next card I have is the Four of Pentacles reversed. And I feel that it has been a good decision because it's widening your circle. It's putting you out there doing more of what you want to do. When we look at this squirrel the right way up, it's everything's sort of held in. Everything's held in that net bag. So for you, it is about moving beyond the bounds. And I feel like that's a good process for you. Also, to finish up, I've got the Ace of Pentacles here. Yes. Don't question, don't self-doubt, trust in your own decisions. I feel, bless your cotton socks, Audrey, you kind of put responsibilities, and Audrey says yes, you sometimes kind of want validation from others, almost like permission from others. The real permission you have to have is the permission that you give yourself. And moving forward, this is looking very, very positive. Aces, big new beginnings. Pentacles, practical new ways of being, practical new ways of working, but on a larger scale, on a global scale. So this has been a huge decision for you, and that's why you're questioning and self-doubting. But it looks like it's for you moving forward. Decisions. Honestly, decisions, they can tie us up in knots, can't they? Particularly when they're big life decisions. changing jobs, not just changing jobs, but maybe going on to a different career. It can be a bit scary. That's where we need some fire energy. That's where we need to fire ourselves up. And that is the theme for tonight's show, is fire. And Audrey says, yes, agree, and yes, I'm a wreck about it. Lol, I mean, laugh out loud. And she says, thanks. Yeah, trust yourself. And that goes for everyone. Trust your decisions. Yeah, we might not always make the right decision, but learning to trust yourself means that you will then move forward more easily. Now, the element of fire. What is fire? It's hot. It burns. It's unpredictable. You never know which way a flame's going to go, even a little candle. It's also an energy that is creative. That spark of life. Think of the sayings we have around fire, the spark of life. So therefore it's transformational. Also, fire purifies. It burns things down to its most tiny essence. From a tree, it burns down to ashes. And so it's about transformation, because those ashes then feed the soil for new trees to grow. So it has this kind of cycle effect to it. So we use it for warmth. We use it to cook our food. So fire, when it's harnessed, is so positive for us. Where would we be without a beautiful hot cooked meal? I would be lost personally. But then, of course, it has that destructive side. We've just moved into an early bushfire season here in Australia, and you can see wherever you are in the world, there have been bushfires this year, and seeing the destructive nature of it as well. So we have that yin yang, but it's genuinely a masculine or outward moving energy. But more about that later. I think I need to get fired up about the next question, please. Who do we have? Oh, we have Hayley T. Hello, Hayley. And Hayley says, hello, how does John feel about me? He is a romantic interest of mine. We met a little over a month ago, and I've talked only a little bit so far. Well, I'm going to go onto my love deck for this question to see how John feels about you, and to see how things might move forward for you both as well, if that's a possibility. So, John, how do you feel about Hayley? Here we go. So I've got the Four of Pentacles in my love deck, the first one up, and I feel there's definite interest there, but he's very busy at the moment doing his own thing as well. So I feel like, yes, you're on the horizon. Yes, he's curious about you. Yes, there are feelings there, but he's not going to rush in. He's not going to rush into a relationship like, now we're in it, now we're a couple kind of thing. The Four of Pentacles is about taking things slowly and observing. So he's kind of observing the situation at the moment. The good news is, though, I've got the Empress, so I feel like there is room to birth something into a romantic relationship with this Empress card, but it's got to grow organically. The Empress, she's Mother Earth. She's nurturing. She does things in her time. So I feel like with this, you've got to allow it to flow naturally and not try to get to the end of the story before it has even started. The other card I have is the Two of Swords reversed. So this is really good. I see that there is a coming together. I see that there is strong communication. Learn to talk to each other first. Get to know each other. Don't rush it. Let's add some T coins around how John is also feeling. I've got the Tornado. So this has happened very, very quickly in terms of him going, oh, Hayley, oh. And the other one I have is the Dragon. So fire energy. And the passion is there as well. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, but just allow it to grow organically. Allow it to grow naturally. Don't force anything. Thank you so much for that great question. It was really a good one. And, the start of relationships, you get this kind of, I wonder if he likes me. I wonder if I really like him the way I think I like him. There's all that at the beginning, that nervous energy that can come in at the start. And Hayley T says, thank you so much. You are so welcome, my dear. But that nervous energy at the start, that anticipation, and you just want to jump in and make it happen. But allow it to grow. Allow it to find its own way without. That seems to be a theme tonight. We might have fire energy, but it's about go with the flow. Don't force anything. If we force too much fire, it's going to blow up. So we don't want that to happen. Okay, let's go into our next question. Who do we have, please? And we have Emma Rose. Hello, Emma Rose. Emma Rose asks, I'd like to know how Zed felt about me way back when we were in high school together. I'm not in contact with him currently. Thank you so much. So we're moving into the past here. Time is relative according to Einstein. So I'm happy to jump into the past for you, Emma Rose. And I am using my love deck again. Okay. I feel that with Zed in the past, in terms of how he felt about you, he was a little bit this and that, this and that. I actually feel like he was a little bit of a game player. He liked to not just be with one person all the time. He was exploring relationships. He was exploring dating. So I feel like you weren't just the only one. Having said that, I've got the Lover's card, and I do feel that there were feelings there for you. I do feel that this person, this is the person called Zed, did care for you back in high school. But, you know, too young to make a commitment was the feeling. It was like, yes, I like this person. I've got feelings, but, you know, I want to explore what else is out there. I feel that that's the way it was. I've also got the Page of Swords. So with that Page of Swords, and Emma Rose says true. Thank you for that feedback, Emma Rose. I really appreciate it. And with that Page of Swords, he wanted to get out there and have different types of relationships with people. Communication for Zed was a very important thing. I think he was a bit of a talker. I think he liked to communicate. He liked social things. He liked socializing in groups. And so for him, it was more about the group relationship dynamic rather than just the one-to-one. Let's add some tea points. Let's see what we've got. We've got the Dragon again. So I feel like, yes, there was a lot of energy between you. I feel it was more friendship rather than out and out, you know, romantic. I do feel, though, that there were deep, but he wasn't at that stage to explore them. Thank you so much for your question, Emma Rose. I really, really appreciate it. The theme of fire. You know, there's so many words around fire, so many songs around fire, because fire is passion. I want to talk about the positive aspects of fire because, you know, fire can be a bit scary at times. So I want to talk about those positive aspects. Fire in a person represents passion. It represents action. It represents courage and confidence and rushing in. Person who has a fire energy likes change. They're highly adaptable. And when you think about astrology and the fire signs in astrology, which are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, they're all different aspects of fire. So cardinal fire is Aries. Aries are good at starting new things, rushing in. Fixed fire Leo is great at maintaining the energy, maintaining the passion. And then we've got Sagittarius, which is mutable fire. Now, they're a bit like a fireworks display. They're up there, up there, out there, out there, interested and outward. So even with fire, if we look at astrology, there are different aspects and the way the energy of fire is expressed. So do you have a fire sign in your chart? Pop it into the comments and let me know. I'd love to see how fire is in your astrology chart. Now, I want to quickly talk about the emoji game. I forgot to say that at the beginning. We are running an emoji game tonight. So please put in those emojis in the comments. Let's put some fire emojis, some sun emojis, red-colored emojis, red hearts for passion. Put in all those emojis because the person who puts in the most emojis will receive a divination reading from me. Okay, let's move on to our next question, please. Who do we have? And we have Unique. Hello, Unique. Lovely to see you here, my dear. And Unique asks, will Jabari and I get married and have a really happy family life? Well, I'm not going to touch on the family life because that kind of implies children. So let's have a look at how your relationship with Jabari might move forward and whether it looks like marriage or not. And that whether it be, you know, happy life, we all have ups and downs in relationships. So, you know, we don't all live in a fairy tale where it's happy all the time. So just be aware of that. But let's have a look about the potential of marriage with Jabari. The thing about Jabari is that he needs to be his own person. I've got the Emperor here, and I feel that marriage will be based on when he's ready more than when you are ready, because the Emperor likes to be in charge. The Emperor is also very strategic and plans. So I feel that in terms of marriage, it will be based on when he's ready, because I feel you're ready now. I've also got the 8 of Wands reversed. So I feel when it comes to marriage, you've both got to get into alignment with it. You've both got to be on the same page. This is Wands, so we've got more fire energy. So I feel like the passion is there, but I feel like you've got to work out some of the practicalities. There's no practicality in this card. So I feel that there's some things to be worked out before that potential can be brought into manifestation. And then I've got the 10 of Cups reversed. So I feel that marriage for you and Jabari is going to be such a big deal that it's going to take longer to come to be than you would like. I'm actually seeing that it might not be traditional in the old-fashioned way. It might be more like you end up living together and the commitment will be there, but not necessarily names signed on a dotted, on the dotted line on a marriage certificate. So this is what I'm saying at the moment. Now, remember, when we're looking at long-term future, we're looking at potential and probability based on where and your current direction. And this applies to everyone. It's really hard to go out 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 50 years from now. So much can happen in our lives. So when I'm doing a reading like this, I'm looking at it from where it stands now and how it might move forward. So don't give up. Don't give up, Unique. If that's what you want, you need to communicate. You need to solidify the relationship even more. But Jabari needs to be on the same page with you and do it in his time. I hope you found that helpful. And we are up to Crystal Connection. Yes, it's a new game for season 2. Now, Crystal Connection. Before the show, I chose a crystal. And with that crystal, you need to type it in. You can tune in, use your intuition. I'm sending you the name of the crystal right now. So you've got 2 minutes from now to start typing in which crystal you think that I chose before the show. The person who guesses the crystal will win a divination reading from me. So let's see, while we're waiting for those answers to come in, and as we go through, I might give you a little hint. But fire energy. Fire has a lot to do with red jasper. I've got a red jasper here. And red jasper is a beautiful, deep red fire energy. So red jasper is associated with the base chakra, which is about that initial spark, that spark to survive, that spark to do things in life. It's also very grounding and balancing, but in an energetic way. It means you still get on and do what you need to do, but you do it in a grounded, balanced way. If you're feeling a bit low, your energy's feeling a bit low, using some red jasper, holding it, carrying it in your pocket, can help reignite your energy, bring your energy levels back up. In fact, red jasper, because of its connection to the base chakra, which is at the base of your spine, is connected to the flow of life energy, which we all have within us. Also, according to some, it can have a positive influence physically, like on our blood circulation system, on our heart. But of course, we're looking at it from an energy perspective as opposed to a physical perspective. It's great for detoxifying as well, flushing out toxins. So that's a little bit about red jasper. Now, I'm going to give a little bit of a hint for Crystal Connection. It is, I don't need to give you a hint. I've got a winner. Congratulations, Rebecca. Yes, the winning crystal is citrine. This is a raw citrine, and this is a polished one. This is the stone of abundance, and it's got a bit of sunshine, fire energy in it as well. But what I'm going to do is draw a couple of cards for you, Miss Rebecca. Congratulations on choosing citrine. So here we go. I'm going to use my hybrid deck and see what we have. Woohoo! All right. Oh, nice. I love this deck. I really love it. The first card for you, Rebecca, is care. Be gentle with yourself, my dear. Don't treat yourself so harshly. I feel like you give yourself a really, really hard time on all sorts of levels, mind, body, spirit, emotions, the whole thing. So this is about you learning to be more gentle with yourself, not being so hard on yourself. It's also about forgiveness, forgiving yourself and showing yourself some compassion. You have this wonderful ability to show compassion for others, but it's time to redirect it. And Rebecca says, oh my God, fire eye, lol, laugh out loud. I love it. But this is time for you to forgive yourself for things that you've been blaming yourself for in the past, or even blaming yourself for at the moment, and bringing that compassion back to yourself. What will this do for you? It will help you to count your blessings. It will help you to see the abundance that's already in your life and help you to bring more abundance in, because when you forgive yourself, you can open up your heart. When you care for yourself, you can open up your heart and you can see things in a more positive light. And I know sometimes that isn't easy to do, but the key message for you is self-care and compassion moving forward. And congratulations on being the winner of our first Crystal Connection game for season 2. Well done. Well done. All right, so let's go straight on to another question, please. I'm fired up. Look out. And we've got the beautiful Cindy here. Hi, Cindy. Cindy says, good evening. Just wanted you to know my friend Jay reached out to me last Tuesday. That's awesome news, Cindy. That's wonderful. And she goes on to say, they said sorry, but didn't mean to hurt me. May talk later. Just want to know how long are they going to wait to reach out to me again? Well, let's have a look, Cindy. That is the best news. You know, sometimes we do have to wait on other people's timing, not our own. And I have to say, Cindy, you have been so good at, staying in there, hanging in there and waiting for this wonderful result. But let's have a little look ahead. I'm going to look at the rest of October, November, December, and January. October, and Cindy says, I was surprised. Well, we've been telling you in the past readings, we've been telling you he'll get back in contact, and it's worked for you, which I'm really glad about. And she says it was hard. Of course, yes, it was very hard for you because you've got that gentle heart. But we've got the Four of Pentacles reversed. So I feel October is going to be a little bit of a quiet time for Jay. I feel like he's not going to jump in with like long conversations with you and, quick connections. However, November is looking a lot better because I've got the Ace of Pentacles here. So that's planting the seeds for these big new beginnings, for practical action. So I feel that he will start recontacting you again in November. How will that contact move forward? It will continue through into December because I've got the Ace of Wands there. So I feel like for Jay, he's in a place where he's slowly starting to be in a position to start reconnecting with people, to start rebuilding those connections again. Up until this point, he hasn't been able to do that. So I feel his energy is opening out. And in January, I've got the High Priestess reversed. So I feel like he will be opening up a lot more than he has. Just allow him to take that journey bit by bit. Okay, thank you so much for your question, and I'm so glad that he got in contact. And Rebecca says, such a perfect reading. Thank you so much. Oh, Rebecca, mwah, kisses to you, kisses to everybody. I'm not going to breathe fire because, no, we don't want to do that. We'll leave that to dragons. And speaking of dragons, they are one of the mythical creatures associated with fire. Dragons in the old days were, particularly in Western culture, think of King Arthur and the Knight of the Round Tables, going out slaying the dragon, St. George and the dragon. But dragons are a very powerful mythological energy. They are protective. They guard the treasures. So sometimes when I'm feeling a little bit low, a little bit lacking in strength, I might call in the energy of dragon as a protective energy for myself to help me get my own energy back up, get my own power and strength back up as well. So that's a little bit of a mythology thing around the element of fire. I think it's time to move on to our next question, please. Who do we have? And Cindy says, thank you so much. Me too. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate it. Here we go. And we've got Anne. Anne asks, hi, I know two men. One is an old love. Another is a new love. The old one keeps coming back, but I have feelings for the new one. Which of the two men is in my future? Thank you. Well, let's have a look for you, Anne. Nice position to be in, and sometimes like, oh, will I go with this one? Will I go with that one? Let's have a look. So I'm going to look at the original person, so your previous one first, and then I'm going to look at the new person. All right, the previous person, yes, they are wanting to come back into your life. I've got the Page of Pentacles upright. It's a small start, but I feel that for you, this is going back is not going to be good for you because I've got this Eight of Swords reversed. I feel that this previous person, I feel that you couldn't be totally yourself. You felt a bit caged in, and I feel that nothing would change if you chose to be with this person in a more serious relationship. I feel that for you moving forward, if I add a T point onto that, is that I feel there's a little bit of game playing there. I've got the monkey, and the monkey to me is always about playing games and beating their own drum rather than someone else's. So I feel like should you choose this person, you've got to be really careful about why. Why are they back? What is it they want? And you need to trust yourself first. Now, the new person is looking more promising. I've got the Justice card. So this is saying everything fair and equal. You know, when it comes to the crunch, it looks like it's going to be a balanced type of relationship moving forward. I also have the Knight of Swords. And so I feel that this relationship will move forward, but there needs to be more communication. There needs to be more talk. There needs to be more getting to know each other. I know I say that a lot, but it is key to any relationship. But I do feel like it will. So I will never tell you which person to choose, but consider the impact and the insights of those options that showed up in the cards. Okay, that was a really good question because it's kind of a this or that kind of question. And that helps you to see insights and look at options. And one of the things that I do for everyone, I will say this to everyone, we do this thing in business called a SWOT analysis where we look at what our strengths are, our threats or challenges, our opportunities, our weaknesses. And I do that when it comes to myself and other people. You know, what are my strengths? What are the strengths of this potential relationship? What are the weaknesses of this potential relationship? What might the challenges be and where would the opportunities be? What would they look like? And I think when you go into a new relationship, doing that can help you get the balance between all that nervous newness of going out with someone and meeting someone. And Anna says, thank you very much. You're so welcome, Anne. I'm just excited. Can't you tell? I'm on fire. Baby, baby, light my fire. I think that's the name of the song. So let's move straight on to our next question, please. Who do we have? And we have Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Kelly says, my bank account has been hacked. Oh, my dear, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'd like to know if this problem will be resolved quickly, please. Okay, so this for me, I'm going to be a little bit careful in how I handle this question because this could move over into a legal situation and I cannot read on anything that is legal. So I won't be talking about anything on that side. But let's have a look at it moving forward in terms of it possibly being resolved and how it might be resolved. Okay, let's see. I think it's going to take a while. I've got the Knight of Wands reversed. We've got that fire energy again. And he's upside down. So I feel that this isn't going to be resolved quickly. I think it's going to take a little bit of time. And I see that there's not a lot of movement on it at the moment. I've also got the Hermit card. So I feel that there are things. And Kelly said, oh, I didn't think that resolved is fine. Thanks, Kelly. I just always have to re-emphasize that so that people don't think they can ask legal questions associated with other things. So with this Hermit card upright, I feel like there's going to be a balanced approach that will be taken with this, but I think it's going to take a while. I also feel that there are things, I just want to step away from the card. I've just got this feeling there are other bits of information that haven't come to the surface yet that need to come to the surface that will help with it being resolved. I've got the Ten of Swords and upright, and I do feel that for you, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be resolved in the most opportunistic way for you. I feel that there will be a resolution, but it might not completely satisfy you. That's what I'm getting from that. Let's add some T coins. Let's see what we've got with the T coins as well. And we've got the monkey again. So yes, whoever this hacker is, I think it's something that they do on a... But I've got the scale, so it will balance out, but it may not balance out exactly the way you want it to happen. So thank you so much for your question, and thank you for understanding that I couldn't drop into any legal components that may sit around that. Okay, fire. Fire. Now, you might have mentioned, you've seen me mention in not just readings tonight, but in previous readings, when I talk about tarot and I talk about the suit of wands, they are fire. The energy of wands in the tarot is fire. It's the element that that suit represents. All of the suits have the 4 elements, but wand is the predominant one. Cups is water, swords is air, and pentacles is earth. So with wands, when we get a wand card, we're looking at what sparks us, what that motivation is. We're looking at the energy and the action around our question when a wand card comes up in a reading. It's associated also in some instances with spirituality. Some people believe that the fire energy is our spirit energy. And so some people will take their reading in that direction when a wand card comes up as well. But it's also a card of creativity. Wand's energy is creativity as well, just as fire energy is creativity. And the negative aspects of a wand's card in the tarot, that fire energy, can be illusion. You know, it can be the fire that we don't see beyond. We can only see the energy that's in front of us. So there can be a sense of impulsiveness there that might not be in someone's best interests. I'm always fascinated how the elements apply in so many different areas of our lives, including divination using the tarot. So the next time you see a wands card come up, think about it. That's fire energy. What motivation do I need? What spark do I need? What might be getting in the way of me moving forward and taking action if the card is shown in a negative way? So a little bit more than that. And we're up to Mystic Moment. Now, Mystic Moment is where I delve into all things metaphysical. I look at different aspects of metaphysics. Sometimes it will be a reading for the collective. Other times I might talk about astrology or talk about something else. But tonight I wanted to do a what if card. We live in a world where there are so many what ifs. What if I do this? What if I don't? What if this happens to me? What if it doesn't? And so this particular deck is a series of contemplative questions. So let's shuffle the deck for tonight's Mystic Moment and see what the what if card is. Let's have a look. And the what if card is, what if I treat my health as one of my most valuable assets? Now, obviously, I'm not going to talk about health in terms of illness or anything like that, but what if we paid more attention to our well-being? What if we paid more attention to our health? Not just in the body, but body, mind, spirit, heart, because well-being and health is on all those levels, not just the physical body. What if you looked at areas in your life where perhaps you weren't paying enough attention to an aspect of your well-being? What would life look like for you if you did? How might it change? What if I treat my health and well-being as my most valuable asset? We kind of take ourselves for granted, and we kind of take our well-being for granted. We've got appointments, we've got deadlines. I can't do that. I can't do my yoga class because I'm too busy. Or I can't go and have a facial because somebody else needs me. So the question to ask yourself for tonight's Mystic Moment and to contemplate is, what if you treated your well-being as a valuable asset instead of sometimes, and I'm guilty of this, I treat it as a bit of a chore sometimes. Oh, do I have to do that? But what if we looked at our health, our well-being of who we are as a valuable asset? Because at the end of the day, we're all priceless, aren't we? So just a little something for you to contemplate for tonight with our Mystic Moment. And I hope you have found that to be helpful. Now, just a reminder, we've got our emoji competition still going. So let's put in those emojis. I want to see fire emojis, sun emojis, your favorite emojis, red emojis, the whole bit. Start typing and see how we go. Let's move on to our next question. Who do we have, please? And we have Sabrina. Hello, Sabrina. Lovely to see you here. And Sabrina asks, is there going to be a job offer coming to me? I am trying to fund a job as well as sort out care for my daughter. Okay, so let's see if there is a job offer on the way for you. And I think I might use my Mystic Palette deck. So let's see what we have. Okay. A job offer. Things are looking a little bit quiet at the moment in terms of a job offer. I've got the Ten of Swords upright. I feel that, how can I put this? It's about you staying positive. It's about you staying positive. I think you've been doing it a little bit tough. And so I feel that your outlook is like things are a bit hard at the moment, and it's hard for you to see the positive, and you really hang on to this, and you've got a lot to organize as well. But I feel that for you, it's about patience. We've got the Pentacles here. This is the Seven of Pentacles. She's planted the seeds, she's tended the tree, she's just waiting for the fruit to fall. So I feel that a job offer will come to you. And Sabrina says, right, with exclamation points. So I feel like a job offer will come to you, but I feel that you've got to be patient and wait. I feel that you've kind of done all that you can to make it happen. And the good news is the Sun card. And Sabrina says, yes. And we've got the Sun card. So this is, yes, the light will shine upon you. The energy is there for it. It's just a timing thing for you at the moment. Let's add some tea coins. Where would I be without my tea coins? And I've got a mountain. So this is saying that, yes, there are some blocks along the way to this being finalized. There are still some things that need to be sorted out. But remember, with mountains, we can go around them and we can go over them. But it just takes a bit longer than trying to push through them. So I feel a job offer will be on the way. I feel it's going to take a little bit of time. And I'm just going to grab, where did I put it? I'm just going to grab my time. Give it about 6 weeks or so. Give it about another month and a half to 2 months. I hope you found that to be helpful. Thank you so much for your question. I do enjoy all the questions that everyone is putting up tonight. I really appreciate it. And don't forget, if you'd like to donate for a reading, you can. You just need to click, and I'll just say, Sabrina says, thank you for the reading. That definitely resonated. Oh, Sabrina, I'm so glad that it did for you, and I wish you well with it moving forward. So if you would like to donate, remember you can pop onto Facebook or onto YouTube and pop your question in the chat after you have clicked on that donations link. Okay, let's move on to the next question, please. Who do we have? And we've got Squirrel. Squirrel asks, what can I do to make sure my mother feels safe, loved, and happy in my care? Oh, Squirrel, what a beautiful question. And she goes on to say, while maintaining my own identity and interests. Let's have a look. It's a what question rather than a when question. I like that. So let's see what we have for you, my dear. Okay. Oh, how interesting. Yeah, I feel things are out of balance for you at the moment. I've got the Temperance card reversed. I feel like you're kind of trying to find your way between the needs of your mum and your own needs, plus the needs of others. So I feel like you're being pulled in all different directions. And for you, it's throwing you out of balance at the moment emotionally, and also in terms of your ability to sort of think and make decisions, because you're being pulled all over the place. I've got the Page of Cups reversed, and I feel it's going to take you a little while to settle into this. And it's about going little bit by little bit. I'm feeling that you are feeling down about this. You are worried about it with that Star card reversed. But, you know, you're an optimistic person. You can turn that Star card around and look at it from that positive perspective. I feel it's very hard for you to make decisions at the moment with that Queen of Swords reversed. So I want to move on to tea coins about what you can do moving forward. You need to be strong in yourself. That mountain in this instance means stay strong about your needs as well as the needs of others. I feel that for you, having some sort of time awareness, some sort of timing schedule that might help you. And having those few minutes during the day where you can say, this 10 minutes is for me just to sit and have a cuppa and not be on call. It's about setting up other support systems around you as well. that can help you do your interests, do the things that you need to do without feeling like you've got one eye over here all the time. It's not because you don't want to care. You do. You've got this beautiful heart, and there's so much more I could say to you about this, but maybe for another time. So thank you so much for your question. Well, I want to talk more about fire energy because we are in springtime here in Australia, and we've been having summertime temperatures, like heaps and heaps, like in the 80s and 90s. So I want to talk about an Australian flower that we associate with fire here in Australia. I've actually got a picture of it. It's the mulla flower. Look at that. It looks like flames leaping out from the center of the flower. And this mulla flower, when we put an energy meaning to it, it's about helping relieving fear around fire, because fire can be a bit scary. Anyone who's lived through a fire situation, whether it's a house burning or whether it's a bushfire, it really gets into you, doesn't it? And it makes you so hyper vigilant and scared. And so this mulla flower, the energy of it is about helping relieving those fears. It helps relieve this distress are associated with fire, heat, and sun. So this actually can come as a flower essence that you can take, but even just looking at the flower, thinking about the flower, drawing in that energy to bring in that sort of taking down, I'm sorry for the pun on this, but taking down that flame of fear. Knowing that fire of itself is neither good nor bad. It is what it is. It has its own energy. It has its own life. We use it positively to cook our food. We use it positively to warm ourselves. Think about camping and you warm yourself in front of a beautiful campfire. It brings people together. And then, of course, there's the negative side where it can be destructive. But for every destruction, there comes renewal. So I just wanted to share an Aussie flower with you, mulla. I love the name as well. Okay, let's move on to our next question. Who do we have, please? Oh, we've got the winner of our emoji contest. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And it's Rebecca. Rebecca, congratulations on being our emoji winner. That is wonderful. All right, I'm going to use a different deck for you. I'm actually going to use my traditional Rider-Waite deck. This is the artwork that was done originally in 1909, Rebecca. So I'm just going to do a general reading for you. This is the only time on the show that I will ever do a general reading when it comes to winning a competition. I don't do them for questions that I've put up in the queue. So I just wanted to remind you of that. So let's have a look, Rebecca, for you. R, O, and O. I've got the Queen of Cups up right here. And so remember we spoke before about your self-care and, you know, forgiving yourself. I feel that you're going to be able to do this. The Queen of Cups, she is caring, but she's caring in a way that is balanced. You know, she's caring for herself as well as for others. So I see that for you moving forward. I see you getting your emotional balance back that has been off kilter. The next card I have is the Nine of Cups. So more emotion energy, more heart energy. And Rebecca says, yes. I feel that there is something that is happening with you at the moment that, how can I put it? I know you're going to be traveling overseas, and I feel like for you that this is going to be a wish fulfilled. And so I feel focusing on this journey that you're taking overseas, enjoying it for what it is and not let anything else get in the way while you're traveling, because there is a level of contentment here. And I feel while you're overseas, you will find some contentment within yourself that has been missing for quite some time. And Rebecca says, absolutely. The other card I have is the Chariot. So the reason I'm talking about your overseas trip, the Chariot's about travel. So I feel like you're going to be using this time to explore and move forward, but it is going to have an internal benefit for you, having this experience of traveling overseas. I see you sightseeing. I see you exploring. I see you immersing yourself in different cultures as you take this trip overseas. And the final card I have is the Lovers. Yes, my dear, it's all about the love. But this card is also about choices and balance. So I do feel that you will emotionally come back into balance, because we're starting with the Queen of Cups and we're ending with the Lovers, which is emotive energy as well. And Rebecca says it's been a lifetime dream. It's going to go so well for you, but I feel it has deeper results for you than perhaps you will realize until you are back home. I hope that part makes sense. And congratulations on being tonight's emoji winner. That is awesome. Fantastic. Well, a little bit more about fire. This time, I want to talk about an essential oil because I'm an aromatherapist. I love my oils. And one of the oils that you can associate with fire is ginger. Here is a picture of the ginger plant. We use the root. There it is there. It's a root plant. And so with ginger brings in that fire energy when you're feeling low. So ginger, when you inhale it, can help with confidence. It can help with courage. It can help with positivity because the oil itself is stimulating and strengthening. It's also helpful on a physical level with digestion. It can help aid digestion, but please do not drink essential oils, okay? Too hard on your esophagus, too hard on your stomach. You can use them externally very, very safely. And of course, I always say to people, check the safety usages for essential oils, especially if you have sensitivities or allergies. But the other thing that ginger can do on, I guess, a more spiritual level, on a more emotional level, it can help you find direction when you're lacking direction. It can help you give you that sort of impulse, that energy to move forward with something. The downside is if you're feeling burnt out or fatigued or feeling confused or sad, then ginger, yes, I'm doing that as well. I'm there to get you moving forward with confidence. But ginger is also fabulous for that as well. So it helps with burnout and fatigue. It lifts your energy, not energy, your energy. So a little bit more about fire associations with an essential oil. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Who do we have? And we've got Rebecca. And Rebecca asks, do you see my oldest son getting to buy a house next year? Let's have a look. Buying a house, that's a milestone thing in a person's life, isn't it? So let's have a look at the first 3 months of 2024. We'll look at the second 3 months and the third 3 months. So I feel January to March next year, it's not looking so positive. I've got the 3 of cups, or 3 of glasses in this case, reversed. So I don't feel like he'll be celebrating buying a house in the first 3 months. I feel that he's got some stuff he's got to sort out first. I feel he's got to look at location. I feel he's got to look at budget. I feel he's got to look at what's around him, what facilities are around him, how far he is from work, all that kind of thing. So he's got a bit of research he needs to do first. Then when we look at April through June, I have got another Cups card, and I've got the 8 of Cups this time. And I feel that March through June, that's when things are going to get really serious. The passion is there, the emotion is there for wanting to own his own home, but he's going to look to his head and he's going to look at the logical, practical things. And Rebecca says, right. He's going to get logical, he's going to get practical. He's going to look at all of those things I just talked about, and it's going to take a little bit of time to make sure he's got everything in place so that when he does go and look for a home, he'll be ready to sign on that dotted line. He will have got funds sorted, mortgages sorted, all that kind of thing beforehand. I feel when he goes through from July through to September, I've got the 10 of Wands reversed. So fire energy, hello, theme of the night. But with this cup reversed, I feel things will start to ease off in the third quarter of the year. I feel that he'll be more ready then. And I'm going to do one more card for the last quarter of the year. Oh my gosh, could I get a better card? I've got the 10 of Pentacles. I feel it will happen in the last quarter of the year because there's a lot of work to be done leading up to that. Thank you so much for your question, Rebecca. That was a really good one. Buying houses, oh gosh, they're fraught at times because we're excited that we want to buy the house, but then it's like all the paperwork. Then there's the research. Then there's going around looking at all the houses. And I don't know about you, but I kind of get caught up. And Rebecca says, oh, wonderful. Thank you. Rebecca, you are so welcome. I know when I've been buying houses in the past, and I'm sure you've done it as well, it's like, could I just take the lounge room of that house the bathroom of that one and the kitchen of that one and put them together, and then it would be perfect. We work so hard to try and find the perfect house. But the thing about buying a house is it's a home, and you can make it what you need it to be. I hope you found that to be of help. And let's move on to our next question. And it's time for the last question of the show. Where is that owl gone? It's like a fire that stormed through, but in a positive way. And we've got Igor. Igor asks, I feel I've had a bit of a creativity block lately. What steps can I take to get the ball rolling again? Igor, I love this question. So blocks in creativity, what can you do moving forward? Well, let's have a look at what it is that you have already. We'll look at what you need to have the courage to do, and then we'll look at what actions you need to take. So I feel at the moment I've got the Page of Wands reversed. So I feel like it's there. The creativity is still there. It really is. It's just you're not seeing it in yourself. Something has happened that has created that block, and you've lost faith and trust in your ability to be the creative soul that you are. What do you need to have the courage to do? You need to sit back and observe yourself. I've got the Four of Cups here. You know, creativity, Igor says, I get embarrassed about my ideas a lot and stomp them out. Yeah, this is about you trusting yourself, my dear. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It's your creativity, no one else's. And so I feel with this Four of Cups, you've got to kind of step back a bit and have a look at why you feel the way you do around your creative pursuits. Not all creative pursuits have to be for everybody else. You can do them just for you. So it is about getting past that and trusting yourself, but observing. That's what you need to have the courage to do, to observe exactly where you're at, why you're at, and that will allow you to move forward. Now, I see you getting your creativity back, because I've got the Wheel of Fortune. The wheel's turning. It's always turning. The creativity will be there, but I feel that you need to dive deep into yourself. And Igor says, yeah, I do need to get better at doing things for myself. Yeah, you're entitled to be creative just for you. I make soap. It's one of my personal hobbies. I don't do it for anybody else. I give them away as presents, but I make soap for myself because it's my form of creativity and I love it. And I don't care if it doesn't turn out quite right or not. I just love the process of being creative. And I feel for you, that's where you need to come from moving forward. Take action on you doing it for yourself. If others like it, fine. If not, well, that's okay as well. Thank you so much for that great question. And thank you to everyone for your questions tonight. Now, just a reminder, at midnight tonight, we have our beautiful Psychic Kay and our own Journey Ryan bringing their dream interpretation skills. So midnight tonight, we have the Shadows of Dreams. Tomorrow night, we've got a great lineup again. 6 p.m, it's down the rabbit hole with our own little Miss Bunny Sugars. And my gosh, that girl can read. She really can. Then at 10 p.m, it's Whispers from the Forest with our own Psychic Squirrel. But she doesn't finish there at midnight. Do I say tomorrow night? Yes, I do. I always get the midnight thing confused, but it's at midnight tomorrow night. And we have the astrology breakdown with Squirrel, Astro Squirrel, and Journey Ryan. But there's a special astrology breakdown tomorrow night because we're going to be looking at the mythology of astrology in the sign of Libra. So if you're feeling a bit out of balance, you want to get into balance, you want to know all about Libra, join that live show with Astro Squirrel and Journey Ryan with the astrology breakdown. Look, it's been a blast having you here. I hope you've enjoyed our Element of Fire. I'll have a new theme next week to surprise you. But until next week, many blessings to you.